intonation and stress actually are interrelated. Intonation means not actually it has any connection with tone. This is intonation, and intonation refers to the variation of pitch of the voice. Pitch means high or low volume or degree of high or low volume of your voice. Okay. Then where to use which voice? In a sentence, suppose in the beginning or at the end, this is called falling or rising. Okay. Then I see, I am, I see. Then ing, and for primary stress will be on, in case of, then stress will be on the word, on the syllable before that shone. Suppose realization, on jation, and in case of compound word on the first syllable. These are primary stress. If you can identify secondary stress, then you can easily, by avoiding that syllable, you can give primary stress on other syllable of the same word. Okay. And for intonation, means that whether you will raise your voice in the beginning part of a sentence. Intonation actually for sentence, that whether you will raise your voice in the beginning part of a sentence or at the ending part of a sentence. Actually, it will depend that how you say anything, not what you say, that whether you are making a statement or whether you are asking anything, it will depend on your voice, that if you say anything by raising your voice or by downing, by making your voice low, then it will be another matter. It will mean another thing. Suppose he lives in Dhanmondi. This means I am saying that this is assertive sentence. I am making a statement. When I am saying he lives in Dhanmondi, tar naam Kamola, like this. But when I am raising my voice and at the end of the sentence, he lives in Dhanmondi, that means there is no question mark, but from my voice you can understand that this is question. I want to know about that is he living in Dhanmondi. He lives in Dhanmondi, tar naam Kamala. That means you are understanding from my voice that whether I am making a statement or a question. This is called intonation, that where and when I will raise my voice and where I will down my voice. And there are some rules that where to raise and where to use rising voice and where to use falling voice. In case of assertive sentence, and request making, in case of assertive sentence and request, you will use falling voice at the end of your sentence. তুমি কি আসবে? This is request, that my voice will be soft, and at the end of my sentence it is falling. Falling means low, the voice is low, নিম্নগামী, or সে শহরে যাবে, that means this is statement. And in case of WH question, or the question when you are making, and if you are making a question and it demands something more than yes or no answer, then it will end with the following intonation. Suppose, what time is it? Where will you go? Where will you go? That means the first part will be rising and stress, but second or finishing sentence will be with falling voice. What time is it? Where did you park? So, question with WH will end with a falling intonation, but the question which needs only yes or no answer, will you go? Suppose I am asking you, will you go? Then it will end with rising voice. Suppose, will you go? I am asking, will you go? Then with rising, my voice will be raised at the end of the sentence. Will you go? Then you will just reply, yes, I will, or no, I won't, like this way. So, the question which needs yes or no answer, that will end with rising, but WH question will end with falling intonation. Yes? This is related with stress, but not stress. This is intonation. Stress actually highlighting a particular part. Suppose, what time is it? For stress, you are saying what? You will highlight on what? What time is it? Okay. But for intonation, your voice will be fall. Your voice will fall at the end of the sentence. What time is it? Okay. Is it? Or when you are pronouncing is it, you see that your voice are falling. What time is it? Actually, for intonation, this is actually for practice, and I think there will be a quiz test for you. And there may be question type. Suppose, for assertive sentence, give example for rising intonation or upward intonation, and for upward intonation, the symbol actually for exam you can show like this, that your voice will, when your voice will be raised, then this symbol will be used. For suppose, yes or no question, for making this will be, and for WH question, your voice will be like falling. At the end of the sentence, it will fall. Your tone will fall at the end of the sentence for WH question, or for request, or for statement, assertive sentence or statement. Yes. Suppose, don't you like me? Don't you like me? That means rising intonation or upward intonation. Here rising voice, upward. Don't you like me? Because this question demands yes or no answer only. And for when you will use answer, suppose you are asking me, will you give us the sheet? And when I am giving you reply, my reply will be with a falling voice. Yes, I will. My reply will be with a falling voice. Yes, I will. But your question will be with a rising voice or upward intonation, that will you give us the sheet? That means your, yes, when you are making question by yes or no answer, then your question will be with upward intonation, but your answer yes or no answer will be with a falling intonation or falling voice. Yes, I suppose your friend is asking you, will you go to Dhaka? Will you go Dhaka? That for that your voice or your friend's voice will be upward, rising. Will you go to Dhaka? And when you are giving reply, yes, I will, then your voice will be falling. Yes, I will. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will. At first, suppose beginning word, yes, you will say by giving stress. Yes, then when you will say I will, that time your voice will fall. Yes, I will. No, suppose no, you will say loudly. No, I won't. Okay. Now guess, you can catch what is intonation? Inflections. Inflection actually changing of the form of the sentence by adding suffix at the end of the word. Suppose some verbs or words we are changing for making plural or singular or present participle or past participle by adding s, ies, but all words does not sound same when you are using s or ies. Suppose some words when they are used at the end of the word, sometimes they sounds like jo, sometimes like so. Suppose pipe, and when you are making this plural, it will be pipes. Pipes, but another word suppose ending with jo. Yes. Inflections. Inflections means short vivat, just sound difference. When you are changing a word or a verb by adding s or ies after it, or do, suppose for after verb by using do or ed for making past tense or past participle, it does not sounds all times same. Its sounds will be different. Suppose happened. For happened, it will be, it sounds like do, happened, but for stop, it's not stop actually. For exact pronunciation, it will be stopped. You are adding ed, but it sounds like t, stopped, stopped. Okay. That. So, we are now learning that after which word, which sound will take which sound. Okay. Suppose any word ending with do or bo, do, bo, go, bo, do, mo, no, ing. Any word ends, ends mean finishes. When any words last symbol is do, bo or go or bho, dho, mo, no or ing, and if you add after them yes or is or yes, they will sounds like jo. Suppose guard, you are G-U-R-D, guard, okay, and this is do sound, okay, and when you are using s, it won't be guards, okay. You say that at that time it is difficult to pronounce guards, it seems unnatural, but actually it will be like guards, guards, okay. Then it becomes easier for us pronouncing guards, not guards, guards or club, not clubs, clubs, city. Suppose for city, for city, for city, when you are making this plural, it will be cities, there is e, okay. So, it will not be cities, it will be cities, jaw sound will be taken, jaw, it will sound like jaw, cities. This is called inflection, that after which word, after which syllable or sound, if you, after which sound, which inflection will take which sound, s or jaw or is. So, after, if these symbols are at the end of any word, then if you add s or es after that word, they will take sound like jaw. Yes, if this do, bo, go, bho, dho, e, e means I, e, mo, no, ing. If these sounds are at the end of any word, and if you add s or ies of that word with that word, then that s or ies will sounds like jaw, not saw. Is it clear? That if these symbols or these sounds are at the end of any word, and if you add s or ies after that word, then that s or ies will sound like jaw, jaw. Suppose move, m-o, move, m-o-b, move, okay. Actually it sounds like m-o-b, move. So, this is sounds like bo, and if you add s after that, it will be moves, okay, moves. So, Suppose hand, not hands, hands, or hand, H-A-N-D, hand, and if you add S after that hand, it will sound like hands, not hands. Okay. Then it becomes easier for you to pronounce and it is actually accurate. Hands. And if there is paw, thaw, khaw, faw and thaw after any word, and if you add S or ES after that word, they will sound like S. Suppose pipe, pipes, cat, cats, okay, cake, cakes, cloth, clothes, speak, speaks. Okay. So, if any word and with that sound paw, thaw, khaw, faw or thaw, and if you add S or IES after that word, then this S or IES will sound like saw. Saw means this saw. S. Suppose speak. Speak, S-P-E-A-K, speak, speak. This is like speak, there is khaw sound, and if you add S, then it will be S, speaks. Saw, not shaw, saw. Yes? Thaw. Where? This is not Q. There is no any symbol for Q in IPA. This is actually for thaw. Thaw. I have already taught you. Suppose when there is TH in any word, then this thaw sound is used. Thaw. Suppose bath. Baths, cloth, clothes, C-L-O-T-H, cloth, C-L-O-T-H, cloth, cloth, clothes, and when you will add S, then it will be clothes, but not for clothes. Suppose when you will add E, actually it will become verb and its pronunciation will be like the, cloth, not thaw, cloth, cloth. Okay. Okay. Suppose for bath, this is bath, but when you are using E, after that its pronunciation will be like bathe, bathe. Bath, bathe. As a verb, its pronunciation will be bathe. Yes. Suppose for breath. Breath is noun, but when you will add E after that breath, it will be breathe. 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 As a verb, it will sound like breathe. Breathe. Suppose breath. This is breath means nishas, noun. Breath. Okay. Noun. This is noun. Okay. And when you will add E after that, it will be verb and it will be, its pronunciation will change. It will take the sound, breathe. Previous one was breath. Now it's breathe. Okay. Okay, for inflection, I have already told you that if there is pho, tho, kho or pho or tho sound at the end of any word, and if you add s or es after that word, they will sound like so. Okay. And the third rule is, if there is cho or so or sho or jo or jo, then if there is s or is, if you add s or is with that cho, so, jo or suppose jo or jo, then they will take sound like is. Suppose dance, D-A-N-C, dance, there is so. Okay. But if you add s after that, it will be dances. Okay. Suppose page, it will be suppose page. Okay. And if you add s, it will be pages. Okay. Or finish, not finishes, finishes. If you add s after that, finishes. Or matches. Houses, not houses, houses. Another rule for English is that, suppose able, there are some words like, sometimes you as yes, suppose pages, houses, not you won't use falling tone, you must always use upward tone or rising tone. Suppose pages, that means your voice is upward, pages, not pages, not as, e will be always used, not a. Suppose house, not houses, houses, e will be used, not a. Noses, not noises, noses. Okay, then for another part, that if you want to make any verb past or past participle form by adding ed after that, then how they will sound, you will now learn how they will sound. Suppose if there is bo, go, bo, mo, no, e, ing or do after any verb, and if you want to make it past or past participle form by using do, it will take sound like do. Suppose happened, just, there is jo. Actually, it will sound like jaw. Just after adding do, it will pronounce like, suppose judged, it will pronounce like judged. Probe, probed. To make past or past participle, actually always the word does not take same sound when you are adding do after any word. It actually depends on the ending sound. What is the ending sound? On the ending sound or on the basis of ending sound, it takes sound. Sometimes do, tho, sometimes do, or sometimes id. Suppose add. Add is a verb. Okay. And if you add ed after that, it does not sound like add. It does not take do sound. It actually take id, add it. If after any verb, if there is bo or jo or bho or mo, no, e, ing, do, these sounds, if these sounds are at the end of any word, and if you want to make that word or verb past or past participle, then that past or past participle will sound like do. Sound like do. Suppose burn, B-U-R-N, burn. There is no. At the end of this word or verb, there is no sound. Okay. Now you want to make it past form. So you are adding ed after that, but it will sound like at that time do, burnt, do. It will sound like do, not to or ed. Do. It will sound like do. Like previous one, that if you want to transform or change any verb from present form to past form or past participle form, you normally use do, ed. You normally use ed. Yes, ed. Normally you use ed, but this ed always does not sound like do. Sometimes it sounds like to or sometimes like id. Okay. And why this sounds like this to or id or do? It depends on the ending sound of that particular verb. If that ending sound is bo, jo, bho, mo, no, e, ing, do, at that time that verb will sound like do. Yes? Bo, jo. Actually, you are absent in the previous class, that is why you do not understand, but who are present, they can catch it. Okay. And actually, it will be lengthy, waste of time to revise the previous class. Okay. Just now try to understand what I am saying. Later you will consult with your classmate. Okay. it would be better. And like before, if there is kho, kho or pho, tho, just the repeat of previous rule, tho or cho or sho, so at the end of any verb, and you want to make it past or past participle, then after that tho will be used. Suppose park. Okay. This is actually noun, but you can also use it as a verb. And after that verb, park, there is kho sound. And if you add ed, actually, as normally we want to, normally we sound it like parked, but its accurate pronunciation will be parked, parked. Suppose for stop, stop, for stop it will be not stopped, stopped, tho. K, parked. Yes? K. K actually sounds like kho. Kho. Park, parked. For stop, suppose this is stop a verb, and if you want to make it past tense, it will be like stopped. Okay. It sounds like stopped, tho. Okay, when you are adding ed after that, it sounds like tho, stopped. Laugh. Suppose for laugh, L-A-U-G-H, laugh. Laugh. If you add ed after that, generally we pronounce it like laughed, and actually it becomes difficult for you to pronounce, and its exact pronunciation and easier pronunciation actually laughed, laughed. Laughed. Okay. Pho, actually. This is actually raw, that is optional. Raw actually always weak, take always weak stress. Okay. Raw actually always take weak stress, because sometimes it remains silent, and this option it is written in this way because to mean that you can pronounce it or avoid it. This is optional. That is why this is written in the upper part of its previous syllable. Okay. Sound actually you must understand. So, tho, tho. If this sounds, not this word, this sound, suppose for L-A-U-G-S, laugh, there is letter like G-H, but it sounds actually like F, pho, pho. This laugh is, the last syllable sounds like pho. That is why you will use tho after it. not for that GS, okay, not for letter, but for sound. You must notice how it sounds, not how what letters are used, but how it sounds, okay, and what is its sound. And the last rule and most easier rule is that if there is to or do sound after any verb, and if you want to change that verb to past or past participle, then they will sound like id or id, okay. Suppose aid, there is do, okay, and if you add ed after that, aid it or add it or act it, regard it, wanted, count it. So, let us revise that if there is bo, go, bo, jo, do, mo, no or ing, these sounds at the end of the verb, they will take do sound. And if there is pho, kho, cho, jo, zo, pho, tho, then they will take tho sound. And if there is tho, do, then they will take id sound, okay. Do, just do. Suppose hang, there is go sound, hanged, after adding ed, hanged. Burn, burned. You can find out word and use them, that what will be its pronunciation, okay. You can find out word and can apply. No, do, and if there is po, kho, then pho, one is pho, another is pho, another is kho, jo, cho, jo. If these sounds are at the end of the verb, then they will sound like tho, tho, okay. And if there is tho and do sound at the end of the verb, and if you want to change it to past or past participle, it will sound like id, And this is also applicable for possessive word or possessive word after apostrophe s also. This is also applicable after apostrophe s. Okay, sometimes we become confused that if there is apostrophe s, how they will sound. Suppose this for, kha, kha, if there is this sound, if there are this sound or tha, apostrophe s, do you understand? When you want to be in relation, then we use apostrophe s. But after using apostrophe s, you also want to make it sound. Okay. And if there is, suppose Pip, Pip is a person, and there is po sound at the end of this name, and if you s apostrophe s, it will sound like so, pips. Okay. So, after fo, kho, pho, pho and pho, the sound will be so, pips. And after so and sho, jo and jo, sound will be like is. Suppose there is a rules that if any word, suppose James is a name, there is so. If you add only apostrophe s, it suppose James house, it will be okay. But if you want to use s, it also will be okay, but then pronunciation will be changed. James's house, okay, it's okay. Then pronunciation will be James's house, but if you keep it like only this way, then pronunciation will be James house, and if you add apostrophe s, then will be James's house. And except if there is any other sound except that sound, then the sound will be like jo. Suppose Kamal, Kamals, Shekhar, Shekhars. Okay. Suppose Kamal, s, apostrophe s, Kamals, jo. This jo sound will take. Cloth, okay. East, sorry, then okay, pronounce this. No, this is actually primary stress. Admire, okay, read it, pronounce it. Advance, there is primary stress. Accident, because there is primary stress in the first syllable. So, the first syllable will take stress or pressure. Area. Area. Okay. This actually secondary stress. That's why after that the primary stress. Okay, pronounce it. Another. Against. Not against. Against. Aspiration, not experience. Ration, or is ration? Aspiration. Before shall, primary stress. Aspiration. Ambition. 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 Actually, pronunciation, if there is pronunciation, and there must be. For pronunciation, actually marks is actually mathematical type, or for grammar also mathematical, exact point to number. There is no mark excuse that I can't cut any mark. If there is 100% correct, then 100 marks. If there is 5 marks and all sentences are right, then I am compelled to give you that 5 marks. This is like mathematics. This is basic. This is ear sound. Not J actually. Beyond. This is actually O. O. O sound. Boat. Boat. Boot, for boot actually will be U. Boot. And this is O. Boat. This is E and no. E. Okay, then this will sound like this is actually jaw sound, jaw, combined sound, jaw. Enjoy, enjoy, not enjoy, enjoy. Examination, not examination, examination. Result, impossible. As there is more on the past, more sound in the past syllable, that's why this is unstable. Impossible. Possible, not possible, possible. Okay, so now practice at home.